Welcome to SVG-TV's news for Monday, September 1st, 2025. I'm Triska Campbell with the details. The 2025 academic year officially began today with students across the country returning to classrooms and parents showing a readiness for the first day of school. From early morning drop-offs to last-minute uniform checks, families were well prepared to ensure the smooth and successful start to the term. At schools nationwide, many parents accompanied their children to the gates, offering words of encouragement and expressing excitement for the year ahead. Teachers welcomed students with enthusiasm, emphasizing the importance of beginning the school year with discipline, focus, and a positive attitude. The smooth reopening set an encouraging tone for the new academic year, with many expressing optimism about the continued progress and success in the nation's education system. St. Vincent and the Grenadines has recorded a 79.11% pass rate in the 2025 Caribbean Examinations Council CXC Secondary Education Certificate CSEC examination. This marks a 6% increase from the national pass rate in 2024. The Ministry of Education officially released this year's results today following the receipt of a CXC on Wednesday, 27, 2025. Girls High School secured the top position nationally with an impressive 98.92% pass rate. It was one of 8 secondary schools to achieve a rate of 80% or higher. In total, 17 schools recorded credible pass rates between 60% and 80%. 1,557 school candidates from 28 secondary schools sat the examinations. Candidates submitted 10,440 subject entries across 31 subject areas. 1,232 students obtained passing grades 1 to 3, which are considered acceptable passes by CXC standards. The ministry also highlighted 2 schools for significant improvements. Canawan Secondary School improved its pass rate by 25 percentage points, moving from 60.24% in 2024 to 85.25% in 2025. And Trumbuck, Ontario Secondary School registered a 20.7 percentage point increase. At the Caribbean Advanced Proficiency Examination CAPE level, St. Vincent and the Grenadines achieved a 97.92% pass rate, a 1% increase from last year's CAPE. Statistics include 1,271 passing grades 1 to 3 recorded. 17 subjects achieved 100% pass rates. A total of 371 candidates sat the exams. 356 were students from the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Community College, and 15 were private candidates. Canawan Secondary School was officially named the most improved school in the 2025 CXC examinations, with a 25% increase in its pass rates, rising from 60.24% to 85.25%. In a telephone interview with SVG-TV News, Principal Terry Oliver expressed pride in the students' performance.
Really put in a lot of extra work this year with the teachers. I must commend them for all the hard work that they did with the students, and I should say that the students were also very receptive in terms of teachers that are, even on Saturdays. Some even came on Sundays, and we had 100% passes in 8 subject areas, and that include English A, IT, education, geography, technical drawing, principle of business, food and nutrition. We had biology. We had 2 students who got 9 subjects, but both of them did 9. And both of them got all 9. And we had some who got all 8. Most of the students got more than 6 passes and up. Even we got 92% this year in math.
Despite challenges, including those caused by Hurricane Beryl, the school recorded a 100% pass rates in several subjects, including English, while mathematics achieved a 92% pass rate. Canwan Secondary School was one of the institutions affected by Hurricane Beryl in 2024. Principal Oliver noted that both teachers and students put in extra efforts to ensure the full syllabus was covered despite infrastructural setbacks.
Much this year, and it was really a good showing by the school, and it felt really, really good after we were, in such devastation that the children could really settle and work that hard to come up, because many of them homes were not of the best. Some were totally destroyed. Many homes didn't have electricity for quite a while, so studying and everything like that would have been hard for them. But that is why we would have kept them in school for as much as we could in terms of daylight before we send them home. And to tell you the truth, next year we're looking for much better improvement in the grades. I tell them we're heading for 100%, but we mightn't get it, but we might fall in the 90s.
This year marks the third time Canwan Secondary has presented candidates for CSEC exams since its opening 7 years ago. An official opening ceremony was held on Friday, August 30th to mark the completion of refurbishment works at the Fitzhughes Primary School and Early Childhood Development Center in North Leeward. Both projects were completed at a combined cost of approximately $3 million. The construction, which spanned 1 year, was carried out by Jack Construction Services with consultancy services provided by Stewart's Engineering Limited. Funding was jointly provided by the Caribbean Development Bank, the CDB, and the Government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Addressing the gathering, Member of Parliament for North Leeward, Carlos James, noted that the development of educational infrastructure must go beyond buildings. He said the expansion is not just about the physical structure. They are also focusing on the necessary staffing and resources to ensure quality education delivery.
You're going to have additional teachers who are trained in early childhood education at a graduate level. We're going to have additional cleaners and cooks and assistant teachers at this institution. And also, you can see the environment has been improved holistically. And I'm quite certain that Teacher Myrtle is going to work with me to ensure we improve the aesthetics and beautification of the grounds, that we can also have a comfortable environment here, not just on the inside, but on the outside. This is what our government is doing when it comes to education. And if there's one thing that this government has an A+ grading, is the delivery of quality education and the infrastructure, the surrounding infrastructure, and the quality and the investment we have done in terms of the teachers. Because many of the teachers who are at this institution and other institutions across the country are benefiting from the support we are providing through tuition grants and scholarships. And we are broadening the framework, the developmental framework, in not just infrastructure, but also in the academics, ensuring that we have the human resource capacity we have is arguably the best in the region in terms of the delivery of quality education.
Prime Minister Dr. Afghan Salsu also spoke at the ceremony, reflected on the government's long-standing commitments to early childhood education. He said that before 2001, there were no government-run early childhood development centers. The few that existed were privately operated, and many of them were substandard.
Thing we did, we made sure that we established a regime of minimum standards and proceeded to assist the privately owned institutions with yes workers, with SET. We help. Some of them were like some cubby hole. We help to fix them up, make them more comfortable. And then we ourselves began to expand, and we have now 19 state-run early childhood centers. What we decided to do is that every time we were building a primary school, we build an early childhood center attached to the primary school. I'll give you an example. Fair Hall. You want another one? The one at Granville, Argyle. There are others. I'm just giving you examples. And then we do standalone ones, like the one at Edinburgh. I see the humble African from South Windward there, he watching me kind of cross-eyed. He said, what about the best early childhood center in the whole of St. Vincent Grenadines, which is in the yard by the Bible Primary School? But I'm going to tell him that. I tell him something. You think that is the best one? No. The best one is what we built for the Methodist Church in the Methodist churchyard in Georgetown. That's the best one. You know North Central go got the best one. You ain't go grudge me for that. No. And what we do when we provide it for the state is free.
Following the successful performance and showcase by Vincentian artists at Curve 15 over the weekend in Barbados, Minister of Culture Carlos James is encouraging local creatives to continue advancing their art forms to even greater heights. Commending the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Curve team, Minister James said they made the nation proud and emphasized the need for a cultural shift in how the creative sector is valued and supported.
And all of us, sometimes we downplay, the creatives as is a sector which, even our parents, and there has to be a cultural shift, and I'm calling for it here publicly. There must be a cultural shift in how we look at the creative economy, because there are parents who will tell their children, well, why do you want to study music? Why do you want to study dance and drama? And more share them in that traditional sense of discipline in terms of professional disciplines, the architects and the lawyers and the white collar positions. But the orange collar position, there is potential there for us to tap into the creative economy. And I like the direction where we're going, but I want to underscore that there has to be a cultural shift in our thinking and how we view the creative economy and the potential that is there.
James reiterated the government's commitment to investing in the creative industry and also called on other institutions and the private sector to play a more active role in supporting local talents.
To say that there is the potential there for many of us to tap into that creative economy, but it starts with a cultural shift. It just starts with us recognizing from in their homes, in the communities, and even going to the bank. I know the creative complain about this. Going to the banks to get a loan out to build out a studio. It is so challenging because even the persons crunching the numbers don't recognize the value of how important it is to build out and to provide the resources to earn income within the creative economy. And I want to encourage us as Vincentians to start looking at culture as a means of respectable, it's a profession which persons can earn an income. But there has to be some respectability to the role that young people who are interested in this field would feel comfortable going into it because they have the support both economically, both morally from the family, economically from the bank, and the policy from the government, which is pushing them in that direction to say, you have our full support.
More than 80 Vincentians formed part of the national delegation to Carifesta 15, participating in music, dance, visual arts, fashion, and other cultural showcases. Minister of Health, Wellness and the Environment, Sinclair Jimmy Prince, has emphasized that the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital does not reflect the entire healthcare system of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Speaking during a recent interview on Star Radio, Minister Prince cautioned that isolated complaints can sometimes create a misleading perception that healthcare services are different across the country. Prince stated that one issue at one institution shouldn't define the whole system, pointing out that there are many areas where significant progress has been made. He pointed to the ongoing investments in primary health care as proof of the system's improvement. Several community clinics and polyclinics have already been renovated or upgraded. He said helping to expand access to essential healthcare services outside of the capital.
Hundreds of surgeries take place at Milton Cato every year. Hundreds of people going to A&E and come back out. They get quality care. But one person has a problem. Sometimes we don't know what the problem is. Then you have this whole thing amplified as if we don't have a healthcare system. But that aside, we have repaired about 12 to 15 clinics last year. We're doing more this year. We have established polyclinics, and in the polyclinics are what they do. A lot of work they're doing. We are now going to build our flagship project, which is the acute care hospital at Annisville.
Right.
Now, this hospital, Milton Cato Hospital, is in the wrong place, for one.
Right.
It wasn't built as a hospital in the first place. It was built as something else in colonial times, but it was kind of transformed into that. Plus, there's so many things wrong with it. And we have decided that we're going to build a new hospital.
Right.
With a new culture,
Right.
new services.
Right.
We're going to ensure that the people who are working have a good place to work, etc.
Right.
And if you pass Annisville now, you would see that there is evidence of a new hospital taking shape.
Turning to the state of the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital, the country's main public health care facility, Minister Prince acknowledged that the aging structure poses challenges. He revealed that recent technical assessments have found the hospital unsuitable for further expansion, largely due to the persistent flooding and drainage issues linked to previous construction work.
We have been flooded out more than once. All right. We always, anytime there is a threat of rain, heavy rains, we have to be on our P's. The emergency circumstances change. So it has helped to galvanize us into getting out of there. All right, because it has not been good. The operating theater downstairs, all kinds of things have been happening as a result of that. But that's not the only problem. As I said, the capacity, it can't expand anymore. We can't provide more services because of where it is. We don't have places to put operating theaters. We don't have places for nurses or doctors or whatever, libraries. It is just not designed, or was not designed, for that kind of service that we're giving. And as we transform more the health system, we realize how inadequate that is, you know. And that is why we're building at Annisville. We're building something really good, modern, state of the art, which is going to help us to be able to expand the services that we're giving at the moment.
Prince reiterated the government's commitments to constructing a new modern hospital to replace Milton Cato. He said while they are working on a new hospital, they continue to upgrade our healthcare infrastructure across the country.
We can't expand. We're going to expand to it. It is bordered by a road, a main road on one side, by a cemetery on another, a road on the other side. There's no way for it to expand. All right? So we have a problem there. We can't go up because I think the structure can't take that. It's just not fitting in that area. It is in downtown Kingston, near to a cemetery, near to a slow-moving river. There's so many things wrong with it. We have to move, and we are moving. Right? The point is, the good thing is that we're not saying that we are moving. We are moving. We've started to build. The OECC is out there. People are working, and you can see evidence of the shape.